So
That's the problem.
it's been.
I'd like to call the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of April 3rd, 2017 to order. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
Garner.
Here.
Thorstensen.
Here.
Balmas.
Present.
Hood.
Here.
6 present.
All right. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good evening. Well attended. First item is public comment. If you'd like to address the board, you can state your name and volunteer your address, please.
Hi, my name is Wendy Albee. I live at 4025 Harper Avenue. I'd like to ask if you'd consider the area of First Street where it goes to Blackstone and to Greenleaf. It's kind of a cut through. Several years ago, when there was construction on Washington Street, it was used significantly as a cut through. The traffic was backed up really bad. With the new construction going on at the 41 bridge over there, I'm afraid that it's going to happen again, and it's going to be a big nightmare for all the people that live there. But there's also another aspect, and I'm not real familiar with this, but when my daughter went to school over at Viking there, she couldn't take the school bus. I believe you have to live within a mile and a half. So I don't have any school children at this time, but I think that it'll be a problem or it could be a problem, for school kids and things like that. And I think there are some areas in the village where you restrict traffic. I know that, like when you go south on Fuller from Grand, it says local traffic only. And over by Spalding School, there's a restriction for traffic making left-hand turns off of, I think it's Northern or Northwestern. I think that's due to the school. So I'm not asking for something permanent, but just maybe temporary.
Mr. Village Engineer, I think we should talk to the schools about the bus service. I thought they had fixed that 56, that we could get everybody on a bus now. But definitely cut through traffic will be an issue, and see what we can do with the state. First Street used federal funding, so we're limited in how we can. Local streets, we have more jurisdiction in making restrictions. First Street, I'm not so sure because of the way we funded that road.
That is correct, Mayor. Obviously, the cut-through traffic is going to be a concern very early on in the project, so we'll do our best to mitigate that as best as possible.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
But thanks for bringing it up.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comment tonight? All right. If not, we'll move on, but you'll have another chance at the end of the meeting. So, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented? Motion from Trustee Balmas, second from Trustee Ross. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
That's 6 aye.
Motion carries. Patrick, please read the consent agenda into the record.
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the March 20th, 2017 Village Board meeting. Item number 2, approval of granting a Class 9 liquor license to the Warren Newport Public Library for its Bingo in the Book fundraising event to be held on April 28th, 2017. Item number 3, approval of Associate Planner Clara Schaaf's request to participate in the village's tuition assistance program in pursuit of a master's degree in public administration from the University of Illinois Springfield. Item number 4, approval of payroll for period ending March 18, 2017 in the amount of $731,772.88. Item number 5, approval of payroll transfer journal for period ending March 18, 2017 in the amount of $721,179.28. Item number 6, approval of bills for period ending April 3, 2017 in the amount of $399,840.27.
Thank you, Patrick. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as read into the record? Motion by Trustee Garner, second by Trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Thomas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
All right, move on to petitions and communications, and April is a popular month for proclamations. First one is National Service Recognition Day, which is April 4th, 2017. Service to others is a hallmark of the American character and central to how we meet our challenges. And the nation's cities are increasingly turning to national service and volunteerism as a cost-effective strategy to meet needs. And participants in AmeriCorps and Senior Corps address the most pressing challenges facing our cities and nations, from educating students for jobs of the 21st century and supporting veterans and military families, to providing health services and helping communities recover from natural disasters. And national service expands economic opportunity by creating more sustainable, resilient communities and providing education, career skills, and leadership abilities for those who serve. And national service participants demonstrate commitment, dedication, and patriotism by making an intensive commitment to service, a commitment that remains with them in their future endeavors. And the Village of Gurnee shares a priority with city and county officials nationwide to engage citizens, improve lives, and strengthen communities, and is joining with the National League of Cities, National Association of Counties, Cities of Service, and mayors and county officials across the country for the Mayor and County Recognition Day for National Service on April 4th, 2017. Now, therefore, I, Christina Kavark, Mayor of the Village of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 4th, 2017 as National Service Recognition Day and encourage residents to recognize the positive impact of national service in our community and thank those who serve and to find ways to give back to their communities. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Motion by Trustee Garner. Second by Trustee Balmas. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, tomorrow is National Service Recognition Day. Our next proclamation is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, the week of April 9th through 15th. Emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. And when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And public safety dispatchers are the first contact our residents have with emergency services and provide steady guidance and support in a caller's most frantic and panicked moments. And public safety dispatchers are more than a calm and reassuring voice at the other end of the phone. They are the unseen first responders. They are knowledgeable and highly trained individuals who work closely with other police, fire, and medical personnel. And public safety dispatchers of the Gurnee Police Department have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, dedication, and professionalism during the performance of their job. And public safety dispatchers serve the public in countless ways, often without recognition by the beneficiaries of their services. Now, therefore, I, Christina Kavark, Mayor of the Village of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim and recognize the week of April 9th through April 15th, 2017, to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the Village of Gurnee in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our village and our residents, businesses, and guests safe. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Well, that was kind of a group one. Trustee Ross for the motion and Trustee Wilson for the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed? Very good. All right, and it is also 911 Public Education Month. 911 is nationally recognized as the number to call in an emergency to receive immediate help from police, fire, emergency medical services, or other appropriate emergency response entities. And 911 was designated by Congress as the National Emergency Call Number under the Wireless Communication and Public Safety Act of 1999. And the Enhanced 911 Act of 2004 established Enhanced 911 as a high national priority as part of our nation's homeland security and public safety. And people of all ages use 911, and it is critical to educate the public of all ages on the proper use of 911. And senior citizens are at high risk of needing access to 911, and a large segment of this population is learning to use new technology. And thousands of 911 calls are made every year by children properly trained on the use of 911, resulting in lives saved, which underscores the critical importance of training children early in life about 911. And there is widespread misuse of the 911 system, including prank and non-emergency calls, which can result in costly and inefficient use of 911 and emergency response resources, and a need to reduce this practice. And the growth and variety of means of communications, including mobile and internet protocol-based systems, impose challenges for accessing 911 and implementing enhanced 911, and require increased education and awareness about their capabilities. Now, therefore, I, Christina Kavark, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2017 as 911 Education Month and call upon all government officials, parents, teachers, school administrators, caregivers, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individual citizens to observe this month with appropriate ceremonies, training events, and activities. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Thorstensen, second by Trustee Wilson. Roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And one more, a very important one. This is Child Abuse Prevention Month. Our society has a responsibility to protect our children and help them thrive in a safe and nurturing environment. And every child is entitled to be loved, cared for, feel secure, and be free from verbal, sexual, emotional, and physical abuse. And the Village of Gurnee has dedicated individuals and organizations who work daily to counter the problem of child maltreatment and help parents obtain the assistance they need. And our communities are stronger when all citizens become aware of child abuse prevention and become involved in supporting parents to raise their children in a safe environment. And effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships among families, social service agencies, schools, religious and civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. Now, therefore, I, Christina Kavark, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2017 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. I call upon all citizens, and I encourage all citizens to join in dedicating their energies to cherishing our children and helping them grow and develop free from verbal, sexual, emotional, and physical harm. Do I have a motion to approve?
moved.
Motion by Trustee Garner, second by Trustee Thorstensen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, it's Child Abuse Prevention Month. Phew. All right, that's the end of our petitions and communications, so we'll move on to reports.
Yeah, I was
Patrick?
going to have Scott give a quick update on the river and where we're at and what's going on.
So the Des Plaines River is at stage 8.0-ish at this point. We are not in any danger of flooding in the local community at this point. However, all the low-lying areas are now full of water. It's basically filling up from the river, not from drainage from the Gurnee area itself. We're in a very tenuous circumstance right now where additional rainfall later this week, even into next week, could potentially push us into a flood response. So we did start today. We notified all the neighbors, going door to door, providing door tags. Trustee Balmas received one, just letting everybody know what was happening. We're taking a self-help approach right now. There are sandbags and materials available at Public Works should people need them, and then residents are encouraged to contact us or other agencies if they need any assistance. So we are right at a tipping point, and we're hoping that it'll tip in the favor of sunshine and dryness here for the next week and a half or so. But we're monitoring very closely to see what happens.
There's rain predictions through Thursday, though.
That is correct. The models are changing continuously. Even the rainfall today, it started off this morning at an inch, and it went down to about 0.4 of an inch by dinner time this evening. So things are very dynamic right now. It's predicting the weather, which is very difficult to do. So we'll see what happens.
But we're fairly safe up to 9.5 feet, right?
Correct. At 9.5 feet, we're going to lose Emerald, and several homes are going to be threatened, and a couple businesses in the downtown area. So once we get to that point, we'll be talking about sandbagging operations and other flood response.
But we've come a long way from the 7 feet.
We have actually, yes.
All right. Well, get ready. We'll get the email
Hopefully
updates
not,
and all
right.
that stuff.
Yep,
Okay.
we'll keep you updated.
All right. Any other reports?
No,
All right. Any more business?
not tonight.
All right. Then we will move on to new business. The first item is approval of ordinance 2017
15?
15, authorizing the transfer of funds from the general fund to the capital improvement fund and water and sewer capital improvement fund.
Sure. So when we went through the budget process, we discussed how we had a surplus left over at the end of this year. We were going to use half of that to fund capital projects next year, the other half to fill that hole created by QIM going offline and some other expenses that came on board. So this ordinance authorizes the transfer of the $750,000 in general fund surplus to the capital improvement fund, and then $200,000 of general fund surplus to the water and sewer capital fund. So basically, this is just memorializing what we talked about through the budget process.
The paper trail.
Yep.
All right, questions from the trustees? If not, do I have a motion to approve? Motion by trustee Ballmer, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmus.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6-0.
Motion carries. Item number 2, approval of ordinance 2017-16, approving the annual budget of the Village of Gurnee, County of Lake, State of Illinois, for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2017, and ending April 30th, 2018. This was the subject of our public hearing a short 30 minutes ago that we recommended to ourselves.
Move to approve. Second.
All right. Motion from trustee Ross,
Second.
second from trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmus.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6-0.
All right, motion carries. We have a budget. It's more than I can say for the state. All right, item number 3, approval of ordinance 2017-17, authorizing the third amendment to the agreement between the Northern Illinois Municipal Electric Collaborative and the Village of Gurnee for consulting services regarding an electricity aggregation program.
Sure.
Details.
So as you know, we have a community-wide electrical aggregation program where we bid electricity on behalf of the residents, seeking to get a price that can beat ComEd, and then that rate is applied to the community. If residents want to opt out and try to receive their own better rate, they're able to do that. We do this through our membership in NIMEC, which is a group that we've probably worked with going on 20 years now. Dave Hoover's here. He's the head of NIMEC. So our last contract was 3 years for the community. That's coming up to expire here in June. So we're up for another bidding process. This contract, or this amendment to the contract, all it does is just extend our agreement with NIMEC through June. So Dave and his team can go out to bid for the Village of Gurnee. The way it'll work is they will go out to bid, receive prices back. We will have those the Monday of our next village board meeting. So we won't have them when we do the agenda, but we'll have them by that night. The prices are good for 24 hours, so we need to take action on that right away. We'll take a look at it. Usually they offer a 1, 2, 3-year deal with fixed rates. We'll look at those compared to where ComEd is at and where we think ComEd is going to be. And if it looks like we'll come out on the winning end, we'll bring forward a contract. If not, then everyone will revert back to ComEd. So you had a memo from Jack, my assistant, in there, which had on the backside of the memo, you had a chart that showed where ComEd has been and where the village's program has been. As you can see, when this first started out, there was a pretty big savings. As time has gone on, it's really tightened. We're still ahead as far as saving residents money overall, but the window's really tightened. So we'll see what these bids come back looking like. So Jack's inherited the program, so if you have more specific questions, Jack can address them, and if Jack can't answer them, then as I said, David Hoover's here, and he's the state expert in electrical aggregation. So if he can't answer it, we're in trouble.
Do we still have the clawback that we get that if ComEd drops, that our rate drops?
Yes.
Okay.
So that, in our last contract, that was part of it. What we ended up doing, if we remember last summer, is actually ComEd's rate had dropped below ours for a brief period of time. And so the First Energy had the option, and we had the option to kind of void the contract for the third year, but they actually did a price match, essentially, where they even went lower. So they did an amendment to the contract for the third year. So that's something that we'd probably continue in the contract.
It's something we'll push for. It'll be a new contract, so we'll push for it.
And the shorter the term, the better the rate. If we go with a longer term, it's a higher rate because of the guarantee.
Yeah, and I spoke to David, too, and a lot of the communities that have gone into contracts lately, they've been 1 years. So that's been kind of the trend.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
so this
questions
is step.
from the board?
Yeah, this is step one, to bid it out, and we'll see what the bids look like, and we'll be before you at the next village board meeting with either a recommendation to enter into a contract with a new supplier or let everyone revert back to ComEd.
Questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee
Second.
Balmas, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
All right, motion carries. Item number 4, approval of awarding the 2017 network equipment project to the low bidder, CDW-G, at a cost of $152,019.16.
Sure. So you had a memo from our network administrator, Ryan Nelson, on this. Next year's budget included funding for IS infrastructure improvements related to an array of things. This project specifically, they divided it into 5 categories. So Gurnee Zion consolidation, Gurnee switching, Gurnee firewall, IP phone sets, and then SCADA router. So within each of these categories, there's an array of equipment underneath there that's being requested by the IS department. They went out for bid earlier in March, received 2 responses back on March 24th. Took a look at those. CDW was the low bidder, about $55,000 under the second bidder. So a company we've worked with in the past. They've always come through. The equipment's been reliable, fit in with our system, so IS has been happy with them. Also, this 152 is about $25,000 under what Chris had plugged in next year's budget. So low bidder and under budget. And as I said, this touches a lot of different projects that they've got planned for next year to keep everything moving forward. So they're looking for approval tonight. Obviously, the purchase will take place after May 1.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from trustee Thornton, second from trustee Garner. Questions? Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
All right, motion carries. Item number 5, approval of Public Works Department request to purchase one Peterbilt 348 tandem axle chassis from the low bidder, JX Peterbilt of Wadsworth, Illinois, at a cost of $110,475. This is Public Works Department Unit Number 296.
Sure. So the next 6 are all related. They're all public works equipment, so I'll cover them here in one summary, and then Craig Lambrecht, our fleet administrator, is here. He can answer more detailed questions. We have 2 big trucks that are included in next year's budget, one on the street side, one on the utility side. So number 5 and 7 are those big trucks. There's not a state bid on these big trucks. We have purchased vehicles in the past through the National Joint Powers Alliance, so we went to them as far as what their cost was for the chassis. Received that price. Then we went to JX Peterbilt in Wadsworth, and JX Peterbilt was able to beat the National Joint Power Alliance prices. So we're recommending to go with JX Peterbilt for the big trucks. Number 9 are the 2 1-tons that are in next year's budget. Again, one on the street, one on the utility side. Again, received pricing from the National Joint Powers Alliance, and then went to the local dealer. Local dealer was able to beat the price as they did a couple years ago when we purchased the Dodge 1-ton chassis from them. With all 4 of these trucks, as we've done in the past, we've worked with Bonnell Industries out of Dixon, Illinois for the plows, the boxes, the hook lift systems, the hydraulic systems, the spreaders. Public Works is once again requesting to go with Bonnell, asking to waive the bidding requirement. Move forward with them. They've had great success with equipment. They assign one person to work on the truck out there, so that person knows the truck inside and out versus a different person every time you go out there. It's held up. The big trucks, we're looking to do the hook lift systems again, which has worked out nice as far as interchanging the boxes on those and having the unit be able to serve multiple purposes. It has allowed us to reduce the overall size of our fleet over time. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. The bigger trucks, in the past, we've traded those out. We're actually going to hang on to those 2 trucks for a little bit because typically it's the general fund surplus to the capital fund that funds vehicles with next year's budget being so tight. We'll see how much is left over for a transfer at the end of the year. This year we transferred the $750 that we just approved to the capital fund. Next year that transfer of that size may not be there, and Public Works doesn't want to be caught short on plows. So those 2 big trucks, like I said, we'll hang on to them for the time being. We'll see how the numbers shake out, and if we have the opportunity to get rid of those, we will. If not, we'll hang on to them for an extra year. But those trucks will be going down the road in the next year or 2, so we won't be permanently increasing the size of the fleet by 2 trucks. Those will go by the wayside. So the smaller trucks, we are trading those in, getting rid of those. So it's just the 2 big trucks that we're going to hang on to. So that's it in a nutshell. Like I said, Craig can answer more detailed questions on the equipment that we're replacing or purchasing.
Have the big trucks been under our fleet management since we got them? Is this like the first group of trucks that fleet management has managed all the way through?
No. I started in 2014. Okay, 13.
2009. So these are
Well, we've had CFA, but
yeah.
as far as the new trucks,
So these big trucks. One is a 2001. The other is a 2000.
Okay.
So we're still working on flushing those trucks onto the system that were in place before we had a formalized fleet administration program, fleet management program.
You're in CFA, so whatever was in there before 09 is in there, and we've been tracking ever since. So
All right.
the old and the new will be.
So we can see the value of managing them. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, as long as we got some data. Okay. Yeah, these trucks hang around for a long time. That's good. Questions from the trustees? On any of the trucks? Because then I'll just go through each one of these and get the motion, and then we'll vote individually. All right, so do I have a motion for item number 5?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Wilson, second by trustee Balmas. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Item number 6, approval of request from Public Works Department to waive bidding requirements and purchase central hydraulic system, hook lift system, dump body, snow plow, wing plow, tailgate spreader, and spreader control system from Bonnell Industries at a cost not to exceed $158,990. This is for Public Works Unit number 296. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Ross, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Item number 7, approval of Public Works Department request to purchase one Peterbilt 348 single axle chassis from the low bidder JX Peterbilt of Wadsworth, Illinois, at a cost of $99,435, which is Public Works Unit number 669. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Garner, second by trustee Wilson. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Item number 8, approval of request from Public Works Department to waive bidding requirements and purchase central hydraulic system, hook lift system, dump body, snow plow, wing plow, tailgate spreader, and spreader control system from Bonnell Industries at a cost not to exceed $119,690, Public Works Unit number 669. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Item number 9, approval of Public Works Department request to purchase 2 Dodge 5500 regular cab 4x4 chassis from the low bidder Liberty Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Libertyville at a cost of $86,354.30. This will be Public Works Department Unit Number 245 and 675.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Garner. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Item number 10, approval of Public Works Department request to waive bidding requirements and purchase central hydraulic system, dump body, snowplow, tailgate spreader, and spreader control system from Bonnell Industries at a cost not to exceed $99,730. Public Works Units 245 and 675. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Wilson. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
Motion carries. We do have an executive session tonight, but before we go into executive session, I will reopen the floor for public comment. If anybody wants to address the board tonight, you can come to the microphone and state your name, or you can volunteer your address, please. All right. If there's no public comment, our village attorney, Brian, will read into the record while we're going into executive session, but we are not going to take any further action when we come out of executive session tonight. So, Brian?
All right, this would be under exemption C1 to discuss compensation of specific employees. Need a roll call vote.
All right. Motion, right, Bill?
Yeah, we need.
Motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Ross, second by Trustee Garner. Roll call, please, Andy.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
6 aye.
All right, we'll be in there for a little bit, and then we'll be back out.